What is going on, traders, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad to have you. Now in this video, I'm going to be going over my watch list for the trading week of April 25th, 2022. Let's get to it. All right, some of the catalysts for this upcoming week. It's been reported that Elon Musk met with the Twitter board today, which is Sunday, on a potential sale so they can make that stock move. There's plenty of big tech earnings coming up this week. Also, the home price index numbers will be released on Wednesday. The GDP report will be released on Thursday, and the Fed will release inflation data pre-market on Friday. So as you can see, it's a lot of things that can move the market this week. So we're just gonna have to go ahead and pay attention. Let's go ahead and look at some of the earnings coming out this week. All right, so here's the calendar for this upcoming week. You can see a lot of big names like Microsoft, Google, Visa, Facebook, Apple, and Amazon are reporting this week. And so I'm going to be watching, the whole list, because there's a lot of these things that can move, but I can't go through all of these charts because that would be a very long video. Instead, I'm just going to be looking for the ones that has the possibility of moving the most, that options aren't crazy priced. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the list. All right, first thing I'm going to be looking at is the QQQ. Now here I have it pulled up on the daily chart, and everybody knows that this index does run overnight, so these numbers could change. But for right now, I don't see any big tech companies reporting first thing Monday morning. So if the market's still in its feelings and everything's still selling off, I'm looking for it to come test around $316.50. If it can't hold this level, then I'm looking for it to come down to around $300. Now this is kind of important because if a lot of these tech stocks do sell off, and then when the first ones start to report, it'll give us a nice upside bounce play on a lot of these stocks. All right, so keep the QQQ and its levels on your watch list, and let's play what we see. All right, up next is Meta Platforms, aka Facebook, ticker symbol FB. Now here I have it pulled up on the daily chart, and if I zoom in on this a little bit, now this was a disappointing sell-off last week. I was really hoping that Facebook held these levels, so if they had bad earnings, it'd be easier to predict them dropping down to around $185. But since it's dropped so far, I'm not sure how much further it will drop on bad earnings. But if I zoom back out, you can see this level right here of around $137.50 is where it was back in March of 2020. It'd be crazy if it does drop another $50 on bad earnings, but I'll be there if it does. Now if I zoom back in again, if they have good earnings, I'm looking for it to come up and test around $217. If it blows through that, then the next level I'm looking at is around $248 or $247.50. There's a gap that it needs to fill up here, and I doubt that it'll get this high. So these are the levels that I'm going to be watching for Facebook, and let's see what happens. All right, up next is going to be ENPH Energy, ticker symbol ENPH. Now here I have it pulled up on the daily chart, and the reason that this one made the watch list is because when it has earnings, it has a lot of volatility. It could either run up $50 or drop $50, okay? Now even, between earnings, this company moves around $12.25 in a day. But I will say that if you do decide to play this one, play it small. Don't size in large, because this does move quickly and you could be negative really quickly. Now, if they have good earnings, I'm looking for it to run all the way up to around $207.50. If they have bad earnings, I'm looking for it to drop down to around $137.50, okay? So keep ENPH on your watch list, and let's see what happens. All right, and the last one I'm going to be watching is Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. Now here I have Apple pulled up on a 4-hour chart, and what I wanted to point out to you, this might be kind of interesting because Apple reports earnings after hours on Thursday, but then the Fed turns around and they're going to be reporting the inflation numbers pre-market on Friday. So whatever the Fed says could affect this ticker's, opening price on Friday. So keep that in mind if you're going to be buying options on it. Now, for the ultimate scenario for this one, I'm hoping that the market is going to be bearish and Apple sells off and it tests around $159.75. If it can't hold that, then I'm looking for it to drop all the way down to $153.25. That'll be fantastic if this happens prior to their earnings on Thursday, and then they have good earnings, and then we can ride it all the way back up to around $165.50. Okay. Now, if the opposite happens and the market is bullish this upcoming week, I'm looking for it to test around $165.50 initially. And if it can get through that, then I'm looking for it to come up and test around $172. Now, if it gets to $172, I'm looking for it to get rejected right here prior to their earnings. And then we'll go ahead and reassess the levels after that. Okay. So once again, if the market is bearish at the beginning of the week, I'm hoping for Apple to sell off all the way down to around $153 or lower. That'd even be better if it gets down to around $150. That'd be fantastic. And then they have good earnings, and then we can ride it right back up again. Okay, so keep these levels on your watch list, and let's see what happens. And that is the end of the video. If you found value, please smash that like button and consider subscribing. Here's wishing you a prosperous week of trading. And until next week, talk to you later.